Okay, so that oil leak that I saw on the breather actually might have been kind of insignificant compared to this one that seemed to be coming from the head gasket. So what I did was I leaned this up. I'm going to try to preserve this gasket. That stayed on there pretty good. I've got the mower leaned up a little bit to keep any excessive oil that's in there. You might be able to see, get a little closer. There is some kind of like just laying down in that lower part of the cylinder head right here. So here's the head. So this section right here is the head of the engine. Got the exhaust coming out over here. Got the intake coming out right over here. I'm probably just going to pull this fuel line off here, plug it up, and the whole carburetor assembly is just going to come on off with it. So I'll leave the carburetor manifold and the carburetor and the muffler on there. And then all I have to do really is remove the fuel line and plug it up. I put a punch in that hose. I'll just go ahead and take that off now, and then when I get the head loosened up, that's when we'll be able to mess with this carburetor linkage for the choke. And this is gravity fed. There is no on or off. I'm just going to take this out. I couldn't find my punch, but this right here will work. It's just a on-off valve. Keep that stuff from coming out, and we should be good. Just releasing this. So what I like to do before I remove anything is I'm going to check the gaps. So we'll keep an eye on the valves here, watch them go around a couple times. This thing runs pretty good, but I do suspect that, you know, the valves are not going to be completely gapped properly. So there's exhaust, and that should be intake. This is the intake valve. Should be. No, this is the exhaust valve actually. So this is the intake exhaust. That's the exhaust. Compression. Okay, that's intake. Now compression. On top of the compression stroke there, we should have both of these loosey-loose. And what I want to do then, I'll take the spark plug wire off. Put it to the side. I'm just gonna, I got a 5/1000. Usually these are 4 to 6 thousandths, 4 to 9 thousandths, something like that, depending intake or exhaust. Okay, my 5 is slipping in there like really good. That's at about a 7. That's on the exhaust is about a 7. And the intake's right at 5. Perfectly on 5. So on this, they might be the same, but on the exhaust ones, valves and the gaps, they run a little bit higher, a couple thousandths higher than the intake. But right now they look pretty good. So this is at like 6 or 7, and this is the intake's right on a 5. The intake being the lower one here. So that's just to get a reference. And now this is how I like to take the head off also, right here, just like this, so that when I put the head back on, there's no resistance. See, there's no real pressure on the push rods, because if you take this off and one of the rocker arms is pushing down like that, so it's pushing on that rocker arm and it's putting, it's creating this tension right here in this binding. So I want to take that back off, make sure that these are both loosey-loose. There's no pressure on the push rods really. And now it's time to take the head off. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 probably bolts. One, 2, 3 on the top there. 4. Oh gosh, I gotta take the exhaust off. See, there's one down in there, one down inside of that, right down there. And so this exhaust manifold is in the way, so it'll have to be removed. Getting to that will be a lot of fun. Hopefully I have an Allen key that will fit in there just right, or it could be a challenge. We'll see. All right, so you got 3 on top, 2 on the side here. Is there any in the middle? Okay, and then 3 on the bottom. Right there. See those? Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8 total. So get on that, take them off. I'll actually have to get to the exhaust mounting bolts real quick. What I usually do with the one that's exposed, I take a vice grip to it, clamp onto it really good, and to break it loose anyway. You could also squirt some WD or transmission fluid on there for a minute, loosen it up. Okay, so for right here, I ended up just taking this off, these 2 big bolts out of the exhaust manifold, 1/2 inch, and then we got a 3/8 down here on the side that goes into the block on this support bracket right here. Just put that to the side. And now we're going to work on, we could probably now get a wrench on that one bolt that's right there. It looks like it's going to be a challenge. But these will be 1/2 inch, get a 1/2 inch wrench to maybe get up into there. Actually, now I can get a Torx tip in there if I have one that size. I don't think I do, unfortunately. All right, I was able to get this Allen wrench here. I don't even know what size it is. Don't think it says, some old thing. And get it on there. To break it, I just put this bar on here to get it loose. Gonna do the same thing on the bottom. Try to. A lot of times these exhaust bolts go pretty easy coming off. Okay, that got loose pretty easy. Yeah, usually the exhaust bolts aren't that bad, because they get heated, cool off, heated, superheat, super hot, cool back off. Okay, so it's coming off pretty good. So it'll make it easy to get the head bolts off. Okay, so I'll just get these things started. I was looking for my 3/8 extension. I'm just going to start these by hand, and I'll zip them off with the impact. I just like, even when I'm loosening them, kind of in a cross pattern, if possible, just to start getting them loose. It's really important on vehicle, like car, engine, head gaskets. That's where actually loosening them up properly in the proper sequence becomes important. This one, probably not so much, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so I'm getting all these loose. And I think that's all of them. I'll zip them off and pull the head off. And then the push rods will be free to just fall out when I pull everything out of here. So I'm just going to kind of make some room for that, get the stuff out of the way. I don't have to do any adjustments on this stuff. I'll just put it right back on the way it came off, and we should be good to go. Then I just got to get this carburetor linkage disconnected. Now that everything's loose, I'll just zip them all off real quick. I'm putting all the parts in the spark plugs in the way over here a little bit. Might have to actually take it out. This bolt might not come all the way out. Show you here. So that might be a good idea. It's about to hit that plug, so probably going to be taking that. As long as this is loose, as long as it gets, yeah, okay, came out. And I get these bottom ones out. Okay, I got all those bolts out. They're all coming down here. Everything out of the way. Now I'm going to be, can you see this? Yeah. Okay, so I'll be taking these linkages off for the throttle, and then for the choke, once I get it loose, the whole head, I'll just kind of bring it over and fiddle around with the head, the linkage. Okay, so we got it loose. Okay, yeah, the head's all coming apart. And I will show you that there's a difference between the push rods. This top one, which is for the exhaust gases, is steel. It's got a little rusty rust on it or something. And the intake is aluminum. It looks like they're different lengths too. No, they're about the same length. About the same length, but I think the exhaust is a little longer actually, if you set them side by side. Now that I have this, I'll go ahead and what should I do first? Okay, choke link already came out of there. And then I'm gonna try and see if I can get this off without breaking anything. Is that even possible? Sure it is. There we go. That's it. Okay, so I still had a bolt in there. Now, I'll try to, we got a couple tappets here on top of the valve stems. You can see right here. 1, 2. Don't lose those. Right there. Okay. I'm going to turn this upside down. Let's take a look at the head gasket. Okay, that's pretty demolished. We can kind of see, I guess, this is where probably leaking from. It looks pretty bad. And that should be arriving here from Mr. Amazon in just a few minutes if everything goes as planned. So, cylinder, while I'm in here, feeling for any weird ridges, stuff like that. But I don't see anything bad, but this right here, see where kind of the silver stuff is? It's missing right there, and that's probably, you know, was leaking down out of there. I'm hoping that was it. It had to be it. That's all it could have been. It's the only thing that could be leaking from this area, really. Oil. So that's that. Got my small parts down here. I don't think the wind's going to be blowing them away. I got my push rods, got my valve stem. I call them tappets. I guess they're not really tappets, but they're just kind of caps, these little steel caps. Don't lose those. Then we have our little choke link, bad head gasket, and new head gasket will be here directly. And we'll be back.